Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English podcast.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something really common, I think, especially when you're learning a language.
Yeah, that feeling of being a bit lost.
Exactly. We've got this source, the first episode of a podcast called Confessions of an English Learner. And the title says it all. I pretended to understand everything.
Oh, that title just grabs you, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Because, well, who hasn't done that? Pretended you're following along when, really, you haven't got a clue.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack that. Why do we do it? And what's the real impact on learning?
And it's super relevant for anyone listening who wants to learn effectively, get those aha moments without feeling totally swamped.
Yeah, because this hits on a core challenge.
Yeah.
That pressure, sometimes internal, sometimes maybe external, to look like you know what's going on.
The source jumps right in with that confession. I pretended to understand everything. It's refreshingly honest.
It really is. And the learner explains the initial thinking wasn't like malicious. It was more about politeness.
Mm-hmm. Politeness, not wanting to interrupt, maybe not wanting to slow things down for everyone else, or just feeling a bit awkward.
Yeah, that awkwardness. So they just nodded, said yes, yes, but inside, total confusion.
Right? Just lost in the conversation. And you can picture it, can't you? Trying to seem agreeable while your brain is just scrambling.
It paints such a clear picture. But what's really interesting is the conflict there.
What do you mean?
Well, the intention is good, right? Be polite. Don't cause trouble.
Okay, yeah.
But the result is you don't understand. You actually create this barrier. You stop yourself from learning.
That's a great point. It seems harmless, this little nod, but it actually stops real communication dead in its tracks. And yeah, forget learning anything new in that moment.
And the source gives some pretty vivid examples of how this pretending totally backfired.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, there was this meeting scenario.
Yeah.
The learner was there, nodding along, maybe even pretending to take notes,
Uh-huh. Been there.
and completely misunderstood what they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up doing the exact opposite.
Oof. Okay, yeah, that shows how a small hesitation, that fear of asking, wait, what, can lead to, well, big mistakes down the line.
Totally. It makes you think that moment of maybe slight embarrassment, asking for clarity, it's usually way less costly than fixing the mess later.
Absolutely. It's like short-term discomfort versus potentially major long-term problems.
Then there was another story about a party invitation. This one felt almost more subtle, but just as revealing.
A party? What happened there?
The learner understood some words, enough to sort of guess the positive vibe of the conversation.
Okay.
So they smiled, nodded enthusiastically,
Yeah.
but missed the key bit, the actual invitation part, so no party.
Oh, wow. That really shows how our brains try to fill in the gaps, doesn't it? We want to connect. We want to seem like we're part of things.
Yeah.
So we make assumptions based on like half the information, and sometimes we just guess wrong. Missed opportunities.
Exactly. And the learner really emphasizes this core point. Pretending actively blocks learning. It just stops it. Because if you never admit you don't get it, how can anyone explain it to you? You stay stuck.
Right. You're trapped in that cycle. Nod, smile, understand nothing, repeat. No actual knowledge is getting through.
It's like you're present, but you're not really participating mentally. You're not engaging with the language.
It's a performance almost, like watching a cooking show but never actually trying the recipe or asking what fold gently means. You're not learning the skill.
So true. Okay, so how did things change for this learner? What was the breakthrough?
Well, the turning point seemed to be realizing the power of just asking. Using those simple phrases we often avoid.
Like what kind of phrases?
Things like, sorry, can you say that again? Or, I don't understand, can you explain? Even just, could you speak a bit more slowly?
And maybe, what does that word mean? Simple stuff.
Exactly. Simple, but they require you to be a little vulnerable, right? To admit you don't know something.
That's the hard part, I think, dropping the pretense.
But the learner found out something important when they finally did it.
What's it at?
They describe finally taking a breath and saying, I'm sorry, I just don't understand this.
And people got annoyed.
No, not at all. The reaction was basically, oh, no problem. Let me explain it differently. It was helpful, positive.
Okay. So the fear was worse than the reality.
Much worse. And that's often the case, isn't it? We build things up in our heads. Most people, if they see you're genuinely trying, they want to help you understand.
That makes sense. And getting that positive reaction must have been like a huge relief.
Totally. The learner talks about feeling lighter, more confident almost immediately, like a weight was lifted.
And crucially, Their actual English learning started moving faster.
Right, because they were finally getting the input they needed. They were clearing up confusion instead of letting it build up.
It's interesting how it affects more than just language skills. That confidence boost seems key.
Definitely. All that energy spent pretending, it's draining, it causes anxiety. Asking questions, even though it feels scary at first, actually creates a much less stressful and, well, more effective way to learn.
So, if we boil it down for everyone listening, the big takeaway from this learner's confession is, don't be afraid to ask.
Yes. It's not weakness, it's actually strength. It's being proactive about your own understanding.
It's the fastest way to actually get it.
Yeah.
Don't let that fear of looking silly stop you from, actually learning.
And this isn't just about language, is it? Think about starting a new job or learning any new skill.
Good point. Anywhere you're a beginner.
Yeah. That willingness to say, hang on, I don't get that part, is always going to serve you better than bluffing your way through. It's about wanting real understanding over just looking competent.
The learner's whole story is just a great reminder that learning is a process. You start by not knowing. That's okay.
It's absolutely okay. The gaps are normal. Asking questions is just how you fill them. It's about being brave enough to communicate openly.
Yeah, the
But-
courage to just ask. So maybe a final thought for people to consider.
Go on.
Think about your own learning journeys. Not just language, maybe anything. Were there times you nodded along when you were lost?
A challenging question.
Yeah. And just reflect.
Yeah.
What might have been different if you'd felt able or brave enough to just ask for that clarification back then?
That's a really powerful thing to think about. What doors might have opened sooner?
If you like the channel and want me to continue, please write in the comments. Also, write your comments about the video. Please don't forget to like my video and subscribe to the channel. We love you very much. Everything is to improve our English together. We will succeed together.